Hello, this is Sarke from the band Toulouse Cold and Sarke. You are listening to the Thomas Eriksen podcast.
Hi everybody, my name is Thomas Eriksen and this is my podcast. I am the creator of the Norwegian black metal band Mork, and I have this podcast, obviously. If you wish to support my music or the podcast, please do so by visiting the official band webpage written in the description. You can pick up vinyl records, CDs, t-shirts, whatnot. And if there's any sponsors out there who would like to perhaps do a cooperation, just reach out. And as we are closing in on the 22nd of May and the release of the very first Mork demos, I can mention that Peaceville Records has picked up those first Mork demos, which was compiled into a CDR back in the day under the name Rota til Ondskap. Peaceville will now shoot out a vinyl of the compilation, which is awesome. It's a part of the band's history. So head over to Burning Shed, Peaceville's web store, and put in a pre-order. You will also be able to pick up the vinyl in a 100 hand-numbered and signed version over at Mork's web shop after the 22nd of May. Episode 9 has come around. And this time we are going back into Mork territory, and we will have another story episode, as we have done a couple of times previously. Yours truly and Mork sound engineer Espen Jamne Van Groningen got together the other night, and over a couple of beers we reminisced about our trip to the United States of America, which happened last August. The band got invited to play the Psycho Las Vegas Festival in Las Vegas and 2 additional club shows. So we packed our bags and we got the necessary visas and stuff like that, and we headed over. Mork, the band, Espen, the sound engineer, and our good friend Daniel Pedersen, who is the band's photographer. You should all check out Daniel Pedersen's portfolio and pictures over at his website, which is punkrockphoto.no. I will put it in the description. And in there you will find a whole page dedicated to the trip that Mork took to America. And the pictures are just amazing. It's really cool to get to see documentation like that when looking back at something that meant so much to each and every one of us. I can speak for myself that having my music pave the way to Los Angeles was a dream that I really didn't see would ever come to life, but it did last year. I am, as many of you, I suppose, a great fan of music, rock and roll, the rock and roll history. I love the old bands and I love the history. And to get to visit and live on the actual Sunset Strip and be able to hang out at the Rainbow Bar and Grill and go to the Whiskey A Go and I don't know, it's just insane. But that actually happened. And tune in now to me and Espen having a good time and chatting about the trip in its entirety. Pop open a beer, sit back and come with us on our trip. Enjoy. Men det skulle ju varit en slags app här som kunde göra typ bildframvisning.
Ja.
Ljusframvisning.
Ljusbildframvisor.
Där har du det. Jag är inte riktigt svensk.
Ljusbildframvisande.
Ja, jag suger på svenska, men jag är bara svensk.
Ja, men fan, det är för dumt att
jag kan lite för det, va?
Ja, det är så.
All right. Today we are joined by Mork soundman Espen Jamne Van Groningen, which is a very cherished friend of ours, and he is coming along on about every trip we are taking. Basically, we've been flying around the world together.
We have.
So thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
I guess you can tell we had a couple of beers, but it's okay because we're reminiscing today, aren't we?
We are.
We are actually going to talk about the very first trip to the US of A, which happened last year in August, right?
Yep.
And what happened is that it's a quite funny story because I think there was a fan writing to me through our Instagram and was like, no, I remember I put out a question in the stories part of the Instagram, and where do you want to see Mork live? And people answer, Brazil, Colombia, Sweden, Denmark, whatever, And someone actually wrote Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Psycho Las Vegas, I think they wrote. And then I wrote back, yeah, make them book us, And I kid you not, I think it was a couple of days after this.
Really? I didn't know this story.
I actually received an instant message on Instagram from Psycho Las Vegas, the festival in Las Vegas, where they basically just asked, do you want to come over and play?
And you said?
I said, fuck no.
Hell no.
No, I said, sure, of course, And we dealt a little bit back and forth, and at the end of the day, we reached the agreement that Mork would come over and play 3 gigs on American soil, and that was to be the Psycho Las Vegas in Las Vegas, Brick by Brick in San Diego, and Catch One in Los Angeles. So basically a mini tour.
Yeah.
And considering this is our first time abroad, we went to Canada before, but this is the first time in America or the United States, and it's a big deal.
It was.
Yeah.
For all of us.
Yeah. So it's necessary to do this reminiscing today, and Espen came with us. And I remember, I think we traveled. When was it? Was it at night?
Don't quite remember. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, we started really early in the morning or really late at night, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
Was it like 2:00 or 3:00 in the morning?
Oh, really? Okay. because we just a little while ago we actually got back from the band photographer Daniel Pedersen, punk rock photo on the internet. He came with us for the same trip, and he was there to document in both photography and shooting some video. So me and Espen went down there tonight and watched the movie for the first time, actually.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a while. It's been how long? Half a year plus?
Yeah, plus August. Now we're in end of April. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's a long time coming. And just to try to remember the how is it in English? The vibe and everything, you know, and the chronological order of things.
Yeah.
So we are also.
Did it kind of get lost?
A little bit.
Order.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit, because it was 10 days.
Yeah.
In total, and you can just imagine 10 days in California and Nevada, and only 3 gigs. So there's plenty of time to just scout around and sightseeing and just
a lot of impressions.
Impressions. There you go. Just to take it all in, you know. And during the trip, I think we got a lot out of it. I think we got more than we kind of expected.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would say so. You've been there before.
Yeah, once.
When was that? Early 90s?
1994.
You went to visit Freddie, which is actually the guy who has helped me to mix almost all of the Mork albums, actually.
Yeah.
He was going to the...
He was in Musicians Institute of Technology in
MIT.
MIT in Hollywood. So I was there, you know, for 3 weeks visiting, we had a blast. It was nice.
Oh man.
Yeah. We went to the Rainbow for the first time, and
And you went there in the 90s, where I guess the strip was still kind of hot.
Yeah. Was a lot of people there all the time. It felt like,
because now these times, the thing to take into consideration here is that when we go to the Sunset Strip, which is the place we spent the most of our time, we go to the part that was perhaps more important earlier years. Like 60s, 70s, 80s, and some bled into the 90s. Yeah,
some. I think it kind of died maybe in the 90s.
In the 90s,
with the grunge movement. And
kind of stuck in the hair metal days.
Yeah, I think it kind of caught on quite late on the Sunset Strip as well, even though it's,
to a guy who has grown up watching documentaries and movies and listened to records, you know, and just seen all these clubs and pubs and stuff, you know, Rainbow Bar and Grill, Whiskey A Go Go, the Roxy, the Viper Room. It all seems so far away and important somehow.
Yeah.
But when we got there, we noticed quite quickly that it's not the hub anymore. It's
kind of small, kind of dirty.
It is. It is. And later in the trip, when we stayed over at a bit further east in Hollywood, a bit more close to the masked Chinese theater and all that, there's more stuff happening over there than in that part of West Hollywood that we sought out.
Yeah, Sunset Strip and around the Viper Room.
Yeah,
whiskey and
But it was cool too, because it was easy going. You know, it wasn't hectic.
No.
So
relaxed.
Yeah, very relaxed, and we stayed. We actually stayed at an Airbnb flat that was owned by the Rainbow Bar and Grill, which was genius. I remember considering how are we going to arrange the lodgings while there, and what's more perfect than living at the Rainbow.
Well, for us, that was incredible.
yeah. You know, it's rock and roll history.
I think we took advantage of that quite well, I think, as well.
I remember we went straight from LAX after 10 plus hours. I don't know how many hours we traveled. More, yeah. And I guess we were some jet lagged somehow. We went into our rental van, which we had for the duration of the stay, and we headed straight to our lodgings, which was the Rainbow. And we parked the car, we got the keys to the flat, dropped off the bags, and just, okay, what are we going to do?
Straight to the Rainbow. The Bow.
We went straight to the Bow. Yeah. And I think we went into the eating part, the dining part of the bar, and had some nice pizzas or something.
Yeah, spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. And I remember right away. It's not a big place, but I remember right away, you know, from documentaries and the Lemmy documentaries and everything.
Yeah.
We actually sat at the table that was all the way in the back of the dining area to the left the first night, and I think, you know, with the Rainbow Rising album on the wall and everything. Yeah. I recognize it at once from the Lemmy movie, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. This probably sounds kind of nerdy, but we are.
It is nerdy.
It is nerdy,
yeah.
But we are nerds and we love it. So this was kind of a pilgrimage. We went to our Mecca.
Yeah.
So and that first night, we actually me and Espen, we went on to after party. We got to know somebody at the Rainbow who actually told us that she was living in the same apartment building as Lemmy. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it turned out it was true. So we basically went to Lemmy's front door and took selfies.
A tear in a selfie.
Yeah. A little
and a beer.
A tear was shed.
A tear, a beer, and a selfie.
And some Jack and Cokes.
Oh, yeah.
Good times. And who could... my main goal and vision about the Rainbow is like the Lemmy thing. And to go to his door and into that building itself was quite special.
And how it happened so fast on the first night? Just like, what? What are the chances?
The planets was aligned.
Yeah.
We were meant to go there, I guess.
I think so.
So we're looking at photos now from our dinner.
Oh, there we are in the beautiful red light.
Yeah. And some drunken pictures in front of the Rainbow. Lemmy is, of course, a big part of this. They actually have Lemmy spray painted on the side wall of the Roxy, which is next door. So when you are sitting in the smoking area, the outdoor patio, they call it the patio.
Yeah.
At the Rainbow, you are staring directly into Lemmy's face on the wall there, and you know, his seat is still reserved at the end of the bar with his slot machine, and they actually put in a Lemmy statue now.
Yeah.
And I think this was the second night in Los Angeles. We actually went to the Whiskey A Go-Go, which also is a quite important venue. As I figured out, it's not open on regular nights, you know. It's only open when there's something going on.
Yeah,
a concert.
Only when they're doing concerts, yeah.
Yeah, so, and this is like insane. I am the biggest AC/DC fan in the world. And just days before our trip there, I just Googled, you know, the schedule for the whiskey, and who other than the very first AC/DC singer is playing that venue that particular night when we have time to go there.
Yeah.
So obviously, not all of us, but a couple of us went to the whiskey that night and saw Dave Evans live.
Yeah,
And,
I didn't go.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
I think you were quite tired.
I
perhaps.
was a bit tired, and I just didn't, feel like going to a concert, really. But hey, I had a good time back at the flat. Probably me and Daniel.
I doubt that you had as good time as I did.
I probably didn't. I was probably asleep.
Yeah, finally going to the whiskey, get to see the inside of the whiskey a go. It was quite small.
Yeah.
And I was surprised about it was not a center stage, it was a stage in the corner. Yeah. And there was actually white tape on the floor in a square in front of the stage, and you had to stand within that line. Oh, yeah. People were walking in a kind of a made hallway, set hallway, yeah. And just tapping you on the shoulder if you were like 1 foot on the outside of that tape. I guess that's some fire emergency stuff.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And there was an upstairs gallery kind of thing with a bar, and there was a bar downstairs. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, you know what? You didn't go that night. Daniel didn't go. I think Daniel went, actually.
Yeah, maybe it was Daniel.
But Daniel, there's two Daniels.
Alex or...
Yeah. Daniel, the drummer, he went. He stayed back at the flat.
Yeah, he stayed, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Malignant to the black metal followers out there. Yeah. But my point is, not that many other people went either to this show.
So it was a kind of a meek crowd.
It was quite meek, but it was cool because we got to, if we cared to, we could just walk straight up to the stage,
Yeah.
Just watch up in the nose hairs of Dave Evans.
Yeah.
And I was standing there just in awe, and with my drink in hand and just looking around. And 2 feet on my right was Carmine Appice.
Yeah.
Appice or Appice, however you want to say it. I think the two brothers have their own way of saying their last name.
Yeah.
Vinny Appice and Carmine Appice, which is both of them are legendary drummers, but the bigger brother was present at the show.
Didn't whiskey, isn't that a place where a lot of bands that now are huge and really well known, that's kind of one of the places they
started out? Oh, yeah.
You told me Metallica. And,
yeah. Metallica played there.
With Saxon.
Yeah, and that was the very early beginnings.
Yeah, probably with Dave Mustaine.
It was actually. And
it's really cool.
And
Van Halen, I think, played there. Motley Crue played there.
Yeah. Motley Crue lived just up the street.
Yeah.
If you go out of the main doors of the whiskey and go to the left and just up the hill to the left again, it's just the house just up on the right there.
Yeah.
That's the old Motley Crue house. And straight across the street is, like the Viper Room. And I don't know, it's just so insane.
Yeah, it's
but we went
historical
there.
Area.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we have the boys outside the whiskey.
Yeah.
Look
at us.
Plenty of liquor stores.
Yeah.
And plenty of cannabis as well.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of that. All over the place. Yeah.
I was wondering, is it legal over there?
Yeah, and like, oh yes, it is.
It's like huge billboards with cannabis, you know, and everyone was smoking. It smelled funny everywhere.
Yeah. Kind of unusual for us.
Yeah, because
in Norway it's strictly forbidden.
Oh yes, it is. It is.
Nice.
Let's see here. Yeah, this was the second day, I think. Yeah, this was the second day actually. And we also we tried to seek out the Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
but it was kind of hard.
Yeah, we just caught a very small glimpse of it.
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
We basically drove pretty far, and got really close. And when we got to the exit, I guess it went up to the sign. There was a guy there in a truck
Yeah.
who was just like guarding that
it was
exit.
a guard. It was a guard.
And he was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah.
You can't
Just
take
pass
off
by.
here."
Yeah.
That sucked. But
They kind of, I think they do not welcome tourists.
I think
there.
that's kind of strange, but okay.
Well, don't you think they've had enough people go there?
Yeah, but people want to see it.
Yeah. They do. Give them what they want.
So we stopped just by some houses down the street and took pictures through the trees,
Yeah.
Not optimal, but all right.
We were there.
We were there too.
We were there.
There's a picture of myself sitting in Lemmy's seat at the Rainbow.
Yep.
And we went to Venice Beach,
Yeah.
which was a bit too urban for me.
Well, yeah, that was a strange place. Really dirty and very, I don't know, loud.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it, actually.
Not very idyllic. No, I didn't like it either. It's probably, you have to kind of like that kind of stuff to,
Yeah.
Didn't expect it really to be like that.
No. So,
But it was cool. It was cool to have been there.
no, it's like a bucket list thing, you need to see it.
I was there in '94 as well. Me and Freddie, we went there.
Yeah.
So I kind of remembered that it was kind of,
I
And I
wanna-
think even more now, it was even more dirty and more,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, maybe, or I'm a lot older, of course, as well. So I was 19 when I was there the first time, and now I'm old.
No, you're not that old. Come on. I remember when we went to Venice, I was like, "Oh shit, we need to go to Santa Monica too." But it was on the map. It doesn't look that far, but it was quite far. And what I learned from that little trip is that the traffic in LA is horrible.
And yeah, if it's not walking distance and driving somewhere is really, then you have to have a lot of time.
It's a hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Basically, it's gridlocked.
Yeah.
So it's no when people from LA talk about the traffic, they are not kidding.
No. It's,
On the third day, we got into the van once again, and we headed for Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, baby.
All right. We went. I think we drove through San Bernardino.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went up through the hills and into the more desert land.
Yeah.
And we actually passed, I'm always on the phone and on Google and or something like that, trying to figure out what's nearby, what to do here, because I want to get the most out of the experience. And from before, actually, this is another funny story, not related to the trip, but Tony Martin, the vocalist from Black Sabbath, he sung for Black Sabbath in the 80s and some of the 90s. Some of you may have heard of him. He's important to me and Espen at least.
Yeah, those Sabbath albums are really good.
Excellent.
People
Eternal
just-
Idol, Tyr, Headless Cross.
Yeah.
But I digress. Tony Martin actually came to Halden once and did a really poor show. He didn't perform poorly, but it was a poorly attended show here at a small pub. And the day before, I actually went down there and hung out with him for the entire night. A really nice bloke. And he told me about... I asked him about a couple of songs that he wrote for Black Sabbath back in the day. And one of the songs was Rusty Angels from the Dehumanizer.
The Dehumanizer, did he sing on that?
No, Forbidden.
Yeah.
Forbidden is the album.
Yeah.
And he told me that the song is about... It was inspired by him watching a documentary on TV about aircraft boneyards.
Oh, yeah.
Which is basically a huge space in the desert or whatever, a big plane with planes.
So Thomas, when we were in the desert, what did we do? Where did we go? What did we seek out?
Obviously, I was Googling aircraft boneyards, which is aircraft graveyards, basically. And the biggest one happened to be right there. And that place was Victorville, just outside of the hills and into the desert there. And we obviously just took off and went there, you know. But another funny thing there, we actually drove for 5 minutes on the Route 66.
Yeah, we did.
So another thing to cross off the bucket list.
And did we not intend to drive there? It was just something that happened because we took a wrong turn, wasn't it? Or was was to get to the... Yeah,
it was to get to the boneyard.
Yeah.
And that was we have a photo in front of a old school diner.
Yeah.
With a big 66 sign. That was cool.
What's it called? Jenna Mace or something like that?
I don't reckon.
No. Yeah.
But we went to that aircraft boneyard and it was closed, obviously. So we just went to the gate and looked in between the...
Looked like a military base.
Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah. Everything over there is quite protected.
Yeah.
But there was actually a big fighter jet standing on display on the outside, so we, posed and took pictures in front of that.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Had nothing better to do.
Nope. And then more desert, lots of desert, and then all of a sudden we came to Las Vegas.
Yes,
and we arrived there by day, so it wasn't that big of a shock.
No, it looked kind of, I don't know, dull in a way.
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
And one of the first buildings we actually came to was
the venue.
The venue.
Yeah.
Which was the Mandalay Bay and the Delano casino complexes.
Where Mork played the first gig in USA.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a shot here from the backstage area. We played the House of Blues.
Yeah.
Which is situated in Mandalay Bay, and I think our hotel rooms was in Delano.
Yeah,
actually,
right. Yeah.
But there's a passage in between there.
Yeah, we were indoors all the time.
That's
going from one hotel to the other was like.
I need to comment this because inside the casino areas, or just inside in general, these huge buildings, there was this kind of fake cold air-conditioned air with a strange perfumed smell.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Really synthetic and really strange.
Yeah.
And outside it was boiling hot.
Yeah, really.
Almost like if you can imagine yourself walking inside a volcano, it was insane.
Yeah.
So it's needed to have the air conditioned air inside, obviously, but it was a strange kind of air and strange kind of aura in there.
Yeah,
with all the sluts and
all the sluts,
old sluts and new sluts and sluts and
slut machines
with sluts on them.
Yeah, sluts and sluts.
Yeah. So we basically played the House of Blues, which is a amazing venue. And the funny thing is that how big capacity was it?
It was around 2,500, I think.
Yeah. It's a huge place, awesome place with a gallery and big stage and really nice facilities. And this was the smallest stage.
Yeah.
So I was quite...
At the festival
at the festival. Yeah, at the festival.
Yeah.
So the festival had the House of Blues, and they had a stage outside by the pool.
Yeah, well, it's almost like it was a beach.
It was
basically
a beach stage
that they had sort of. Yeah, it was like a small sea in there.
Yeah, it was, but it was
the stage was out in the water.
It was outside.
Yeah,
so it was hot, and the stage looked a bit smaller than the House of Blues one, actually. But
I think the actual stage was smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the capacity is bigger, I guess.
Of course, it's outside, so you can kind of throw in how many people you want in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and out
Or
there,
out
people
there.
were like bathing, and
Yeah.
swimming and walking in the sand and listening to everything from, I don't know, who played out there. Was it Bad Religion? Did they play out there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And 1349.
1349 out in the burning hot sun.
Yeah, they are good friends of ours, but it was quite funny to think about their playing that stage with the corpse paint and black clothes and
And our
pyrotechnics, and it's hot enough from before.
Yeah, and our friend Thor,
Yeah.
the bass player, with his big black robe with a hood.
Oh
Oh man, he must have really been relatively hot in there.
He took a beating.
He took a beating.
For the
He took a
arts.
beating, yeah. He's not a fat man, but he was probably even more skinny when he...
I think he sweated it all out.
Yeah, yeah.
And the biggest stage is the convention center, I think it was called. Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Which is like 20-something thousand arena.
Yeah.
That was big enough.
Big enough for us.
Yeah. So we basically we were scheduled to enter the stage as the first band on the Saturday at the festival, and we are talking noon, 12 noon.
High noon, yeah.
High noon. It's the
12
first band.
12:15 was stage time.
And obviously, you know, we are in our eyes, we were just a small band from Norway, you know, traveling, and we didn't expect anything. To be honest, I thought that maybe there would be 100 people out there, you know.
Yeah, I thought so too, and I thought, well, if 150 people turn up, then that's great. But I remember vividly that, you know, we were due to we had our get-in was at 10 o'clock, and then we started, you know, like setting up the gear. We did a sound check, and we had good time because we were the only band doing a sound check since we were the first band.
Really relaxed and nice.
Very nice, very nice. Had a good time, and we we ended the sound check, and then I came backstage to you guys because I'm the sound guy, so I'm in the front of house. So I went backstage, and we sort of agreed upon how do we do this with the intro and stuff like that. How do I know that you are ready? You know, when can I start the show? And we agreed that I would send a text asking you, is it a go? And you would send a text back, and I would start the intro, and you would go on. So when I went backstage, it was like maybe 2 minutes past 12, and there was probably around 300 people in there already.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is gonna be great. 300 people, wow. Yeah, ooh, cool. And then, we discussed this backstage, and I go back out, and I see that, wow, there's even more people now. And I go back to the mixer, and I start, you know, like doing little stuff that sound guys do, pressing some buttons and just
turning knobs,
turning some knobs
randomly,
organizing a mix. Yeah, just looking busy, not really doing anything. Looking down, and you know, I look at the time, and oh shit, we have to start soon. Snart, Norwegian word snuck in there. And then I open my laptop, and I find the intro, and I'm like, oh yeah, I have to send the text to the guys. So I text the guys, always looking down, and get a yes back. Start the intro, and there's a roar, and I look up, and the place is packed, which was incredible. My hairs just stood up. That was great.
That's a strange moment, man.
And then you went on, and that was the first gig, and we had good sound, and it was just killer, really cool. Very nice experience.
Absolutely, and the first time on American soil, and I don't know, it was just a perfect moment. We came and kind of planted the Mork flag, and the the audience seemed really happy afterwards. So
like 6 stupid Norwegians traveling to to
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
yeah,
And just having a blast.
and you can actually Psycho Las Vegas, the festival, they actually put out the entire gig on video footage on YouTube, so you can go there and check that out. It's like a one camera thing.
Yeah. Camera mic as well, so
Yeah,
but it's all right. You can it gives you a good idea of
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
You and I watched it just the other night, just to
Yeah, we did.
reminisce a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was cool. I was standing there with a beer can, and saying "Skål!"
Yeah.
And everyone in the hall knew what that was.
Yeah. Strange.
Very nice.
The one Norwegian word that's kind of got out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's usually the Norwegian word that gets out too.
Yeah, it is.
And the song titles.
Yeah.
And I have here a picture of that Daniel, the photographer, snapped of me just when I exited the stage.
Yeah.
And that picture will probably be one of the most important pictures, I don't know, in my life for many years to come.
That picture is kind of iconic.
It is,
and
actually.
It's really, really nice. Yeah.
And I've seen the same thing on the video, and it's just nothing. It's just a second, But on the
Yeah.
picture, it's a moment.
Yeah. He really caught the exact moment.
Yeah, he's a talented photographer.
You should all check him out.
.no actually.
Yeah.
I will put it in the description of the podcast. And it was quite nice because when we went off stage, we still had some green room time or some time to spend in the backstage just to simmer down and get back to reality.
Simmer down, boys.
Simmer down. Simmer down. Jim Bobby back.
Simmering on down.
So, a fridge full of beer and everything.
Yeah.
We had sofas and it was really nice. Just everyone just sitting there in a collective and just letting it all sink in.
Yeah, I think generally we were really, really well taken care of at that festival.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be back anytime.
Yeah.
Any day. And I think even Bobby, Robin, I think he
shed a tear.
He shed a little tear in there,
After the gig, he was like, and I was like, "Hey, Robin, what's up? Are you okay?" I just played Vegas.
Yeah.
He was kind of happy. Yeah.
Fuck, man. I actually was the one who had to rush a little bit. I was scheduled to do an interview just after the show. So I basically poured in me a couple of cans of some delicious beer, and I ran to the hotel room. And you guys don't know this, but I went up there, and you can imagine it's a hotel room in Las Vegas. It's quite big, it's quite shiny, it's a master bathroom and really nice, golden everything. And I obviously I always bring my Bluetooth speaker, and I put on some Frank Sinatra,
Oh yeah,
big band music, and I got naked and I just danced in the big shower for myself,
yeah. To a Frank Sinatra tune.
Yep, I'm in Vegas, baby.
Oh yeah. God damn.
Dried my hair and went down to the lobby to meet. I did an interview with Invisible Oranges with a really nice bloke, Joseph. And I remember the Psycho crew asked me if I wanted to do the intro down there in the lobby, in the meeting area, or if I wanted to go to the penthouse.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to see the penthouse.
Yeah.
So we took the elevator to what is it, the highest of floors you can go to, and then exit elevator, I think, and then go to a special elevator,
All right.
which went a bit further. This one went to 11.
The one more elevator.
The one more.
Nice.
And I got in there, and that was like the top suite, you know. And I think they use that for most interviews and stuff. Quite fancy.
Only for you, baby. Only for you.
I can imagine. I can, what is it? I can, hva er for noe på norsk? Forestille meg. Imagine. Imagine it's just for myself. But I went in there and I was, you know, did this interview with Joseph, and I think it went quite well, but I was kind of jet lagged, kind of, I don't know, I think I was hungover from the Rainbow too, and a little bit drunk from the backstage, and drunk from the gig in itself. It was a surreal moment sitting up there and seeing, you know, out to the landscape of Las Vegas, out through the huge panorama windows and everything.
Probably drunk from all the impressions.
I was just drunk on life.
Yeah,
basic.
Accumulation of impressions.
Yeah. And this was actually, we are a bit fucking around with the chronology.
Chronology.
Thank you.
Chronology.
No, but we actually drove. We had to do this. We had to drive the strip, you know, up and down in Las Vegas. And we did it once in the daytime and once at night. Yeah. And just
kind
to
of different.
See it. Yeah.
When in daylight it's like what? Nothing. And then at night it's like, oh shit.
Oh, there's Las Vegas. There you are.
There you are, Las Vegas. That's exactly how I remember you from all the movies.
Yeah. I still regret we didn't walk on the strip, but we didn't really have time.
No, it was kind of a hectic stay.
Yeah, absolutely. But,
although incredibly cool and really nice, and I'm glad I was there.
So we saw, the big fancy Las Vegas with, I don't know, what is it, Mirage and...
The Trump Tower.
The Trump Tower and the Eiffel Tower, the Sphinx, the pyramid shit, everything.
Statue of Liberty was there.
That too. Yeah. That's true.
Like a small one, but...
kind of a small one.
Quite big as well.
But still in America.
America.
But we drove all the way so we got into the bit more older parts too.
We did. Yeah.
With a bit not that much attractions anymore.
Oh, that's where all the old drunk people go.
Yeah, it was like the shabby casinos and some shady wedding chapels.
Ah, nice. It was great.
Yeah, we need to take it all in. So and while we were in Vegas, we obviously, at the festival, we obviously checked out some of the festival, we went...
A couple of the other bands.
Yeah, we went to see, I wanted to see Triumph of Death, which is, Tom Warrior's tribute to his own Hellhammer. And we went there, I think that was basically straight after my interview, actually, because
I think so.
We were there with the interviewer.
Yeah, I think we kind of hurried there.
Yeah. And what else did we see?
We saw Clutch. Yeah, that was kind of cool. We saw something outside as well. Which I don't remember the name of the band.
True.
It's kind of more of like a desert rock something.
Oh yeah,
progressive.
There's a lot of that. I think the festival, the years before this one, it was more stoner than metal. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but I saw. I'm sorry to say that I think it's cancelled this year because of the COVID. Yeah, but it was even more metal. They had they booked Mayhem from Norway. They had
they did. The year we were there. Yeah, last year.
No, this year.
Oh yeah, okay.
This year we're supposed to. They have Mayhem there.
Yeah, but because they had 1349 last year, and that was the only black metal really.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, at least Norwegian.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember I went to the lobby and I met a friend of mine who's actually teching for Dimmu. Yeah. And he was taking for Opeth that night. Oh, yeah. So I said hello to, what's his name? Jonas.
Not Åkerfeldt, Mikael.
Mikael Åkerfeldt, sorry. And the vocalist from Carcass, Jeff. Yeah. And I think I saw, what's his name? The Slayer guy, the Slayer drummer.
Dave Lombardo.
Dave Lombardo was also in the lobby there.
I remember I saw him too.
When later in the night, the Psycho people actually took really good care of us and hooked us up with our friend Mario.
Yeah.
Mario, who basically took us wherever we wanted to go.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was pretty late in the night, and it was about to be the headlining act to go on stage, and it was the Misfits.
Yeah, they headlined in place of Megadeth. Because Megadeth was supposed to headline.
That's true.
And something happened with Dave.
Yeah, that's actually quite a funny crossover right there because of I had Dirk on the podcast just the other day.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be there as well. But as you say, Dave, I think it was his cancer thing that came in the way there, his illness. Luckily, he's better now. But that was Megadeth is also one of my big inspirations and one of my favorite bands. So it was kind of shitty to see them go, but it was just as cool to see Misfits.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Misfits.
And Bobby, our bass player, he grew up on the Misfits.
Yeah, and that's why Dave Lombardo was there as well, because he was the drummer for Misfits that night.
It all comes together.
It does.
Neatly.
So it was Dave Lombardo, and it was Jerry Only and Doyle, and of course
Mr. Danzig.
Mr. Glenn Danzig.
Yeah, and
with whom I had an encounter in the hotel lobby.
Yeah, true. He was grunting at you.
He growled at me. He grunted at me. I was unaware of his presence, so I kind of stumbled into his entourage. And he was in the middle of that with a white towel across his shoulders. Mm. And there's who's that little guy? He looks kind of known, and he looked up at me and he gave me a. And it's Glenn Danzig. And I went to the elevator and got up to the room.
Went on with your business.
Yeah.
Our friend Mario, he put us up real nice in a box, a real arena box, which is this. It's a
VIP lounge.
Yeah. That's it. We're seating and a private bar and everything, and we sat up there and watching the Misfits from the roof, basically, which was a nice time. And then after the show was over, a couple of our guys, they just went like, I'm tired.
We're going to bed.
We're going to bed. We're kind of tired of this. We're in a shitty mood now.
Yeah.
And some of us, it was myself, Espen, and Bobby actually.
Yeah, Bobby.
We were like, no, we're going to stick around for a little longer. You never knows.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So then basically we were pulled backstage.
We
were entering the inner bowels of the arena.
Yeah.
And we were also thanks to our friend Mario, and we were standing in the hall, and we were supposed to go and say hi to the Misfits.
Yeah.
And in the hall there, we actually just almost bumped into Charlie Benanti, the Anthrax drummer.
Yeah. That was kind of strange.
It was because you need to take into consideration that we are still that little band from Halden, Norway, traveling and just experiencing these big things for the first time.
I remember you looked at me when he had passed, and it was like, it was Charlie Benanti. And I'm like, yeah, I know. We didn't we kind of just couldn't react to it either. It was just he just went by and we nodded at him and he nodded at us, and then
that was it.
Gone.
That was it.
Yeah.
But then we proceeded to go into Doyle von Frankenstein's backstage.
Yeah.
And we hung out with him, I don't know, for more than an hour, I think. Him and his girlfriend, the arch enemy vocalist.
Alyssa White, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah. Nice people.
Yeah.
They made fun of my Mork logo.
Yeah.
Doyle just pointed at one of our shirts with the Mork logo on it, and he asked, "Why is it almost readable?"
Yeah. What kind are you? Are you a real black metal band? I can almost see what the logo says.
You're almost like some kind of poser band.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't drink, I think. So he gave us his beer and stuff like that that he had on his catering.
And he gave us some Doyle CDs.
And he gave us some stuff.
Yeah, he did.
And then we went out of there, and we were just standing out in the bowels in the hallways in the backstage area again. And then this lady came trolling by, just cleaning up the rooms, I suppose. And her trolley had
beer in it.
Untouched beers.
Oh, yeah.
Can we salvage these? Of course you can, honey.
Yeah, here you go. So again, cold beer.
Perfect ending of a perfect evening.
That was huge.
Something else.
It was really great. Yeah.
And then the Las Vegas adventure was over for this time. We went on and jumped into the van and started heading towards San Diego. And
journey through the desert once again.
Yeah, back to California, basically.
Yeah.
So we decided that we wanted to take it's not a detour, but we wanted to take a different road just to get to see something else.
Yeah.
Because basically it's the same main road going back and forth from LA to Las Vegas.
Yeah, so we basically wanted to see some different sand.
Yeah, different. Not scenery, but sandery.
Yeah. Sandery.
So we actually found this one road that took off to the left out there somewhere in the desert, and we obviously had a GPS and stuff like that, Yeah. And we went down that road, and it was a bit smaller and a bit more like you see in the movies, because the
looks
main
very movie-esque.
Yes, because the main roads usually have fences on the side of the road to prevent whatever, Not that cool for pictures. But this road did not have fences, so we actually got to stop by the side, on the side there, on the shoulder, and we had some new band photos and stuff.
Yeah, and it was only 2 lanes, one each way, so it was kind of like
old school desert road.
Yep.
And we stopped in a little town called Nipton, which had 20-something inhabitants.
Yeah, 25, I think.
And they had this one shop which sold just random shit, and amongst those things was, I think it was their own soda pops. I don't know. It was like this one with Stalin on it, one with the guy from Cuba on the Castro, one with, I don't know if it was Putin, just strange
something
sodas,
with aliens and stuff like that. Yeah.
So we stopped there and had a little what is it?
A rest,
a break, soda break,
a piss and a soda.
Piss. Yeah, and then we went further up the road and just hoping to continue this path, and then all of a sudden the GPS and internet signal just went away.
Yeah, and you said path, and that's what we got.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We came to a path, and that was the road that we were supposed to drive.
Kind of a dirt road kind of thing. So, and without a GPS signal or internet or anything, we kind of
chickened out.
So we turned and went back to the main road, back to San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
Oh man. And then we went to San Diego, basically. We drove through San Bernardino again, and Ventura, I think, is on the way there. Long Beach? No, Long Beach was the other way.
Yeah, that was the other road. Yeah.
So we got to our second Airbnb flat of the trip, which was a really nice one.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
In a little suburb outside of San Diego.
Yeah.
Really clean neighborhood.
Yeah.
And obviously there's huge differences in location because there's several hours between the cities. The whole climate changed down there. It was a bit cooler.
Yeah.
Because in LA and in Las Vegas it was hot like shit, you know.
In Las Vegas it was like
Crazy
almost
hot.
not bearable. Yeah.
Yep. And but in San Diego it was a bit more chill and more cool, and the same with the vibe. The city vibe was chill.
Yeah.
I liked it right away actually.
Yeah, I liked it too. Yeah.
And I always heard the good stuff about if you go to California in general, I guess, but San Diego, you should check out the Mexican grub, the food.
Oh, yes.
So we
found a really nice little place there that had some great food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we ate some, what was it? Was it burritos?
Yeah, burritos.
Yeah, very nice.
Burrito.
Just this little storefront with a shop in it, you know. Only us were in there, and maybe one local nutcase in the corner.
Walking distance from the venue.
That too.
Yeah.
Our flat was walking distance from the venue, basically. So we went to a guitar shop there the next day to buy some stuff, and I bought the worst clip-on tuner in history.
Because Alex, he kind of got served with Marshalls.
We actually needed a booster.
Yeah, he needed a booster. He did. He needed some
tube
a little
screamer.
bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So we found something that was quite similar to the tube screamer, and it sounded good.
Yeah, it did.
It really worked.
I have one of those too. I have the what do I use? I have the Ibanez one, the green one. I think that's actually quite well known. I didn't know that when I bought it, but it works really well.
Yeah,
it gives it that little extra kick that you need if you have a bit too weak amp. And a funny one here is that we obviously we went out for sightseeing again in our van, and I was just like,
oh, we got lost.
Yeah, I was like looking at the map on my phone. I was like, okay, there's this little part of the countryside that goes out into this bay. That it has this looks
like a half island
kind of thing. Looks like it has a clear view of the San Diego basin, and let's go out there. And we actually we followed the maps and everything, but we kind of ended up at the army base, naval base.
Yeah.
Where the people kind of pulled us over and with the uniforms and everything.
You cannot pass through here. Oh, shit. With guns. Oh, my God.
They took one look at our stupid faces and realized, okay, this is harmless guys.
Yeah. These are tourists that got lost.
And they kind of pointed us in the right direction, though.
Yeah.
And, I remember this quite vividly, that you were like, oh, I'm going to turn the van. Because Espen was our driver and chauffeur throughout the whole tour, our trip. Good on you, sir.
Yes.
One for the
I know
one
how
for
to
the
drive.
Before he...
I have a license. It's true.
We all do, but we are not that good drivers, I guess. Before he could turn the van around and go back out from the naval base, they had to hold on to
my driver's license.
Driver license.
Yeah. So they kept that, or was it the passport?
The license.
The license. They kept my license, and then I turned the van around.
A U-turn.
Yeah, I made a U-turn, and she kind of threw it back to me. Like really quick.
So they trusted us, but they were like, trust nobody. Yes. A little bit secretive like this.
Maybe they are Russian, these people. So we must not let them into our military base.
Oh man. But we found our spot out there on that half island though. And it was actually just as predicted. It was a viewpoint.
But to to harken back to these places for army base. You know, we said, no, we are not Russians. We are Norwegians, we.
I'm sure they believed us.
Yep.
So we went out to that. What is it called in English? Is it a viewpoint?
Yeah.
Where you can kind of, there's this spots where you can just look at the city skyline and
Spot at the top of a hill
something like
where you
that.
can see a lot of.
And it was like this visitor center and everything. So
Yeah.
it was like made for touristy things.
It was a national park, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice. Rattlesnake signs.
Yeah.
And a huge naval churchyard, actually.
I think the rattlesnakes, they were just boasting about it because I didn't see one rattlesnake.
Not one. I didn't even hear one.
No, me neither.
Was it Bobby that was constantly just looking around in terror?
Yeah. He was scared.
I hope he was disappointed when he went home.
Yeah.
And we came to the gig in San Diego, which was held at the Brick by Brick venue
Yep.
down there, which is, I don't know, is it a 300
300
capacity?
Yeah.
And we played there with our co-headliner, which was Tomb Mold,
Yeah.
which was
Tomb
a
Mold.
Canadian death metal band.
Yeah.
Nice blokes.
Yeah, good band as well.
So it was the two gigs outside the festival was supposed to be 3 bands, actually. It was supposed to be Mork and Tomb Mold as support acts for Rotting Christ.
Yeah, that's true.
But
They fucked up the visa.
the visa
stuff.
part,
Yeah.
and I can really tell you that getting working or an artist visa for the United States,
Not easy.
that's not easy.
No.
You can, as a tourist, you can get an ESTA like any day of the week from your computer, I think.
Yeah.
But we as musicians or artists, we actually have to get this own kind of working visa. And it was paperwork back and forth with lawyers, and it was fees, and we had to have separate meetings actually at the American embassy in Oslo.
Yeah.
So
And relatively expensive as well.
expensive, really, but for our sake, totally worth it.
Yeah.
Because it all worked out, and we got to go over there.
Mm.
And
No hassle, really.
no, actually not.
Yeah.
No hassle, because
After the after the visas had been procured, as they say.
Yeah.
Everything was good.
I remember we came to LAX when we landed, and we stood in that passport queue afterwards. How many hours did we walk in that queue back and forth?
Oh, many.
That was 3
that was
hours
a
or
long
something.
time,
It
something
was a
like that.
really long time.
Yeah.
But when we finally came to the counter, the people who worked there were just like, oh, metal and black metal, and were showing the horns and just smiling, no
Yeah.
problem at all.
Yeah. They just waved us through and
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's a hurry up and wait situation there as well.
Hurry up and wait fast, but do it slow.
The gig was awesome. I liked the venue. It was kind of it's DIY kind of place. It was like this underground feeling, vibe to it.
Kind of felt like a big garage.
Yeah.
In a way. Yep.
I really liked it with
Yeah,
a
it was
big
cool.
pool table at the end of the room and everything. And after the show, I was approached by a fan who told me that he had been following Mork since the very beginning. And when he say the very beginning, it's precisely that. Because when I made Mork in 2004, I remember I set up this MySpace page, way before Facebook and Instagram and that stuff.
I remember MySpace.
And I had a profile there with Mork, with some crappy demos and pictures. And he had actually followed the band since then. And now, how many years later, 15, 16 years later or something,
Yeah.
We all of a sudden we came and played in his backyard.
Yeah, and he stood front row through the whole gig,
Yeah,
just
and
nodding his head, and
he concurred.
He concurred all the time.
That was nice. Stuff like that really is cool, you know. We never forget those little moments. Let's see. There's a picture of us here.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And then we finished up, and the next gig was to be in the third gig and last gig was in LA.
Yeah.
And at the venue called Catch One, which I think was owned by
the Psycho Festival.
Psycho Entertainment guys.
Yeah, it's like a booking agency, isn't it? Like or a management.
I don't know, corporation, yeah.
And 350 capacity, Catch One.
Yeah.
That's that room. They
Yes.
have different rooms, but
And I liked it really much. It was the same kind of big garage kind of vibe, but taller beneath the ceiling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really cool place. And in San Diego, I think there was kind of 200 people showed up, I guess, for the show.
Yeah.
We were happy about that. And in Los Angeles, there was, I don't know, was it between 300 and 400 or something people?
Was almost packed.
Yeah, it was really. We expected less people since Rotting Christ dropped off. Yeah, but it didn't, affect it at all.
To be fair, they changed the venues because we were supposed to play a 700 capacity venue.
That's true.
In Los Angeles, but
same venue, same house, but
same
different
house.
room.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. And after the show, we I don't know, what did we do? We went back to the Rainbow,
of course.
As we
had
do.
to take another beer at the Bow. I think we kind of hurried back to the Bow. Now we stayed backstage to have a chat with John.
Yeah, my friend.
And the other he had with him some guy, and I think Jessica was there as well.
Yeah, sure.
And
her husband.
Yeah.
No, her husband was there.
That's who were there.
Marcus.
Marcus was there, not Jessica. Yeah, that's correct. And
no, we were actually scouted that night by a guy from Century Media, an A&R guy, Mr. Geeter. So he came backstage and we had some words. And it turned out that he actually wrote a book on hardcore punk or something, which was quite interesting. Yeah. And I also met like you said, my friend John, which I met in London 15 years earlier when I went to see his band live. So I kind of returned the favor, returning to Los Angeles, which is
because he invited you backstage, didn't he? At that show 15 years ago.
Yeah, so we had this connection for all those years, but without meeting each other, just like sending some texts and stuff. So about Marcus and Jessica, we can come back to them later. I guess Espen was driving as he did.
That's what I did.
Entire trip, and he was kind of thirsty, I suppose. So we hurried back to the Rainbow once again.
I wanted to go back to the Bow to have a cold drink.
And that we did. I think we had one last night at the same flat, actually.
Yeah, we did.
The Airbnb.
We moved house after that.
Yeah. And after that, we moved a bit further east into West Hollywood, closer to the Hollywood Boulevard, actually. Yeah. With what is it? Man's Chinese Theater and everything.
Chinese Man Theater, isn't it?
I think it's Man's Chinese Theater.
Yeah. Bet your beer, you're right.
Yeah, I think so too. I bet so too. And we went on more sightseeings. We jumped in the car the next day, and I think it was my idea, actually. I really wanted to see Malibu.
Yeah. Yeah, that was your idea.
And we went up there. It didn't take that much time as I expected, actually, because that was quite far.
Yeah.
But I think the traffic was smoother up there.
At that time,
Yeah. It was the time of day, obviously.
Yeah. Because when we went back, not so smooth.
Not so much. So
But what did we see?
In Malibu to me is known for it's where 2.5 Men is situated.
Yeah.
And I remember we passed by some houses just on the main road there, and I was like, oh, right here is the movie locations for Ford Fairlane, the movie, the movie with Andrew Dice Clay.
Yep.
I don't think many of you know this. Maybe the older ones out there know this, who he is.
Yeah, it's from 86 or 87 or something. It's
an excellent movie.
Yeah.
His only movie, I think.
Yeah, with Motley Crue is in it.
Yes.
And,
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a lot of, it's a cool movie.
Yep.
Susu Petals.
Susu Pedals. And Wayne Newton is the bad guy.
Oh, yeah. Correctly.
Oh, man. And I think the Freddy Krueger guy is in there too, actually, as a bad guy.
Yeah, he is.
He's dressed almost... He kind of looks like Rob Halford from the early 80s in there. If you know what I mean.
Leather...
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. No, our main goal was basically my goal, because I'm kind of a film buff, and I'm huge into the Arnold Schwarzenegger filmography.
The Last
Action Hero.
Oh, yeah,
it's a big part of my childhood, and I love that movie. People hate it, but I love it.
Big Guns, AC/DC.
Big Gun.
The soundtrack is killer.
Angry Again, Megadeth.
Yeah.
There's a Queensryche thing in there.
Real World. And there's also a Alice in Chains song, which is great.
Excellent. And in the movie, if you watch Last Action Hero in the opening, I think it's pretty close to the opening sequence. The kid Daniel Madigan, he goes to the movies, and he's going to see the new Jack Slater movie, and you can see the intro, and you can hear the Megadeth song go, and then there's the intro text and everything, and then they go to this big mansion, almost like a palace at the edge of the mountain there. Of the ridge, and that's in the middle of Malibu. I wanted to go to that particular house, and we did go there, and but for some reason we didn't really jump out of the car and make sure we got the footage and the photos. So I took my telephone, my stupid iPhone, and took a selfie out the window of the car, and was like, okay, we can go back. And after the fact, I realized that the photos were total shit.
But you couldn't even see the house in the photo.
It was just like all white in the background.
Yeah.
Oh, terrible. But we were there.
We were there.
We
saw it.
We saw
our own eyes.
And then we went back into LA and into gridlock traffic.
Yep.
I see a picture here. How many lanes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lanes.
Yeah, and
gridlocked.
We all had to pee.
Yep.
We saw the number of cars in front of us and at the sides of us, and we're just like, oh shit, this is not going to work.
No, that was insane. And they were actually, I saw that little kids and stuff were actually standing outside cars and
peeing.
Yeah. What can you do?
Yeah, hey, just. You can't yell at those.
You're
people.
lucky if you have not fabric. You have leather seats. You're lucky.
Yeah.
You can piss your pants and still clean the car. Oh man.
We did not do that, for the record.
No, we didn't. We went around in West Hollywood and Hollywood area, and we saw the Capitol Records building, which is the big round thing. It's kind of famous, also from the Ford Fairlane movie, actually.
Yeah.
And we went up to the Mulholland Drive. We obviously went around in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, we went around. The Mulholland Drive was to see Paul Stanley's house.
Yeah. So just to make sure we are stalkers.
Just to be stalkers.
Yep.
Stalkers be stalking.
We went to the very famous Amoeba Records.
Yep.
What's the show from there? What's in your bag?
What's in your bag? Yeah.
What's in your bag?
Where they ask, like known people what records they've bought.
And the funny thing is that I didn't know about Amoeba Records from that actually, because I have it from the Lemmy the movie.
Yeah.
Where he actually
Part of
walks
that
in
as well.
and he buys the Beatles box or whatever.
Yeah.
So we went in there, and this is quite special for me. I actually found my old albums in there, Mork albums were standing in the vinyl.
It is kind of a big deal, to go to Hollywood and go to Amoeba Records, which is a famous record store, and find your own album. That's, I can understand how you want to go back to that place.
I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but that was kind of cool. And seeing now these days, actually, I saw just yesterday that they are closing down Amoeba now, which,
it's a shame.
It's a shame, but we got to go there. You know,
we were there.
We were there. We saw the albums and, move on. And we went to the Guitar Center on Hollywood Boulevard, I think.
Yeah. No, it's on Sunset.
It's on Sunset. Yeah. I keep saying to Espen that I thought it was way smaller than I expected.
Yeah. It's quite big though.
I don't know. But it was quite expensive though. I thought perhaps guitars and gear was cheaper over there than in Norway, but it was quite expensive.
Yeah, a little bit cheaper, but not much, no. Those kind of things, instruments are almost the same all over the world.
Was it cheaper before? Because I remember people going over there and just grabbing guitars because it was cheaper.
Yeah, because the dollar compared to our currency was much weaker.
Yeah, there you go.
It was a lot weaker, so that's why.
One of the last days, we actually got to go back to Lemmy's apartment building. And this was early in the day, actually. It was, we got to hang out by the pool, which was really nice. Because
the pool where Lemmy's used
pool.
To take his baths, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, it is.
And, we went up to the liquor store on the corner and we bought a
crate of beer. Yeah.
Went down and put on some of us. We didn't bring swim trunks.
No,
I think we went in there with our boxers.
Yeah.
But this was like a day without no plans at all. We have already seen a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
We were this relaxing kind of vibe, and we
relaxing
just went
in Lemmy's pool.
Yeah, with a cold in the sun
with a cold beer. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was something else.
I think I didn't even touch the water. I was just lying on like a sunbed with a cold beer and just half asleep, listening to you guys enjoying yourself, and we had music, and that was something else.
I will never forget it.
No, me neither.
It was Hollywood days in the correct sense.
Hollywood.
And when we were obviously at the Rainbow every night because we had the opportunity to, but I think it was the two or three last nights over there. We actually had to change apartments because I think the one at the Rainbow was occupied. So we, like I said before, we moved further into the east part of West Hollywood at another flat. And I think it was one of the last nights where you and perhaps Daniel or something took a Uber over to the Rainbow.
We took a Uber to the Rainbow.
Yeah, and Alex and myself, you and Robin went with you too.
Yeah.
And myself and Alex, we decided to walk.
Yeah, that's right.
And,
but we were, of course, all there.
Yeah.
Again.
But
instead of finding a closer by pub or something, that wasn't good enough. We had to go to the Bow.
Yeah, but we also went to the Bow, but we walked the entire strip at night, and that's something I won't ever forget, because I don't regret that at all. We got to see it all, from the curve, and we stopped at the famous comedy store, the stand-up place. And I remember I bought myself a gin tonic on the patio there and just watched the people go by. And
because you walked before us, quite a bit of time before us.
That's true.
But I think also we waited for you up at the Bow. Well, we drank beer and talked to people and had fun. But you weren't there until
we didn't rush.
It took some time.
And that was something else, just to be at the comedy store. I have followed a few stand-up comedians and do enjoy that, and I know several of them have podcasts of their own, and they talk often about the comedy store. It's an important place, and we got to see everything else. What was the place we ate? The barn, ranch, something.
Saddle Ranch.
The Saddle Ranch. That's it.
Yeah.
And we saw
that's close. That's quite close to the comedy store, isn't it?
Yeah, not that far. The next corner. Yeah. And the old train car,
Yeah.
I can't remember what that's called, but it's famous. And we went through,
like the diner.
The diner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is an old train car. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we went through past the famous strip club.
Yeah.
Crazy Girls or whatever.
Yeah, what is it called?
I can't remember.
No.
It's on the left side when you're walking that direction.
It's an iconic building.
Yeah.
I think maybe Freddie will arrest me for this, because I will not be held to it. But I wonder if him and I in '94, I think we maybe ate at that diner. The train car diner. Yeah, I think so. But I'm not completely certain, but there's just some memories there that,
You probably did.
Probably.
And you probably went
so long
straight
ago, so that we can just, if he says, no, we didn't, I can say, yes, we did, and that's all.
And you went straight to Crazy Girls afterwards, I guess.
No. Oh, yes, wait, it was 94?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a girlfriend or a wife or anything, so yeah, we did.
Another funny thing about Freddie, our friend, or the guy who helped me mix the Mork records.
And he's also our friend.
Yeah, okay. He's your friend too? Okay.
He's my friend too.
And he also plays, just to give him some credit where credit is due, he plays all the violins and cellos and whatnot, strings, real stringed instruments on the Mork albums too. He lived in LA for a year or so. The period you visited him, and he was out walking, and I think he was probably in the pedestrian part of the street where the crosswalk, and a car came up and almost hit him, and just, and Freddie was like, oh shit, and the guy behind the wheel was Tom Araya from Slayer.
Yeah. So, something else happened to Freddie back then. He was cycling from his apartment to the school, and he almost ran over two guys, and those guys are from the neighbor city, and he knew them quite well, and it was all by chance. It was like, what the fuck? What are you doing here? It was Lars Andreasen. Sound guy, actually.
Lyd-Lars. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Ulf Roppestad.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Which is kind of, they didn't know that, Freddie was there, and Freddie didn't know they were there, and they just kind of bumped into each other on Hollywood Boulevard.
It's a small, crazy world.
Yeah, it is.
Lyd-Lars, he has actually, I don't know if he still is, but he has been the sound man for Glenn Hughes.
Yeah.
And I think he's quite a close friend of Glenn Hughes too. I think he lives over there in LA, perhaps. And Lars has stayed at his place several times. I have worked with Lars sometimes.
Glenn Hughes, he was, if people don't know that, he was, for a short period at least, he was the bass player for
Deep Purple.
Yeah.
And he
Also does some iconic singing
Yeah,
on Deep Purple records.
on Purple Records too.
Yeah, a couple of... yeah,
I didn't know that.
no, he does. Yep.
And he did the Sabbath album, what was supposed to be Iommi's solo album.
Yeah.
The seventh Star.
Yeah. Good album.
I love it.
Yeah, he's the singer on that album. Yeah. Doesn't
whole
play
album?
bass, I think.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
No. We've digressed.
We went back to the Rainbow and hung out there as we did all the nights, because when we are there we need to go to Rainbow. And just to finish off the Rainbow part of the podcast now, the story. Most of you probably know who Ron Jeremy is. He basically is the regular guy there.
Yeah, he's there every day, I think.
Almost every night.
Yeah.
So that was kind of...
We met him almost every time we were there.
We did.
Yeah.
And that was kind of funny, you know. It's kind of famous. My connection to him, just to clean my sleeve here, it's not through his profession, to put it like that. But my connection to Ron Jeremy is actually through rock and roll, because it's through, remember the Kiss movie, Detroit Rock City?
Yep.
He has a small role in there, and that's where
He's
I have
actually
him from.
acted in a few movies that are not porn movies, but like regular
You
movies.
needed to use the word porn, didn't you?
I did. I had to say it.
I chose to use the word the profession.
That's exactly what I heard, and thus I had to say porn.
Porno.
Porno?
So the guys don't believe me, I think, because they weren't there. But the first night we went to the Rainbow, I can't remember why you weren't there, but I went into because the Rainbow has several
we were probably
bars
on the patio.
They have 3 bars actually. One on the patio, one inside in a little pub besides the dining area, and one upstairs. And I went inside just by myself to just check it out, basically.
Yeah.
And grab a beer. And in the corner was Nicky Six.
You can have that, because I'm fairly certain as well that I saw Gene Hoglan.
Yeah.
And but I have nobody can back that up.
Nope.
Because none of you were there. I was just on my way, probably back from having a piss, and I saw Gene Hoglan there.
I believe you.
Which I'm quite sure it was him, but then again, it may have been somebody who looked like him.
And all of us saw Neil Turbin.
Neil Turbin we saw, yeah.
The first Anthrax vocalist.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. He actually also was present at Dave Evans' show at the Whiskey the other night.
And what we also saw was probably some really, really famous rappers.
Yeah.
We just don't have any clue who they are.
No, because the thing in LA is that at every pub, I can't even call it pubs, they're clubs, I guess. At every club on the strip, there's valets that's hired that take care of all the car parking and stuff like that. So basically people pull over with their car and they go out, and the valet takes their car and parks it. So when we are sitting on the patio of the Rainbow, you're basically just by where the car comes by. And there were several really expensive cars going in and out quite often with what looked like famous people, but we have had no clue.
No.
It's not our area of expertise, I guess.
Nope.
But we were there.
We were there to see it happen live in Hollywood.
And one of the nights at the Rainbow, I feel I say this all the time now.
The Rainbow?
Yeah, one of the nights at the Rainbow. It sounds like we've been at the Rainbow for 100 nights.
Yeah.
We probably did.
Feels like
in dog years, dog nights.
Yeah.
No, we actually run into a Norwegian guy, which turned out to be the manager of Hank von Hell.
Yes.
The old Turbo Negro singer, who also was having a show in Los Angeles, actually, the last night we were to be there.
Yeah.
So we got along with him, and it turned out we had what is it?
Was it at the same venue as you played?
No, different venue.
Different venue.
Somewhere else, but in downtown area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we went to that venue where you played the day after as well.
Yeah, to see Truck Fighters what it was.
Yeah.
But we digress. The guy, the manager of Hank, he actually put us up on the guest list for the Hank show.
Correct.
And it was our plan to go there for sure. But we are from small town Halden, and we don't take into consideration distance and traffic.
And time.
We sure we can make everything, no problem. So what happened is that back to the couple we talked about earlier, Marcus and Jessica.
Yeah.
Who are friends of the band now, who are actually working in the movie business.
Yeah.
Jessica, I think she's a camera operator or something. Camera operator. I think he is the same.
Camera assistant.
Camera assistant. Okay, sorry. So basically, I think it was Alex who was texting with them, and it turned out that they were shooting a TV show up in North Hollywood those nights, and it was like, if you want to drop by, just feel free,
Yeah.
It was like, we need to go up there. It's the last night in America, in Hollywood, in Los Angeles.
Let's go to a movie set.
Yep. So basically, we threw ourselves into the van yet again and went up to North Hollywood. And, we came up there, parked the car somewhere, and walked down the street. And we had roughly the details on which area it was set in. And, the streets were closed off with cars and big buses and cables running everywhere and people just guarding and doing their business. And we just went in there because we were guests, just went onto the set. And that was crazy.
VIP.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I have a photo here in front of me of myself with the clipboard, with the action the clipper. Yeah, clipper, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were
Stump
there,
Town.
we weren't allowed to tell anyone about which show it was. But this is a long time ago, and this was the show that became Stump Town, which was like a new show then. I think they shot the first season or something.
Yeah.
So we basically, they all the crew, the camera people, the director took us in and made us feel like home. Put us just by the director's chair with the main monitors.
Yeah.
And they hooked us up with our own battery packs and own headsets.
Yeah.
So we can just follow the scenes.
And the sound guy, he caught wind of that I was a sound.
That
man
was
as
actually
well.
my doing.
Yeah, you did that,
Yep.
didn't you? Yeah.
You're
he
welcome.
Hey, come here! You're a sound guy, and he showed me all his mics and his mixer, and it was cool.
That was kind of cool.
How they set it up and how it worked. Yeah.
Oh man,
Really nice.
and really
Steve?
nice guys. Steve,
Steve.
we have a
I
picture.
don't
of him,
remember
I
his
think.
last name, but Steve was his first name.
There we go.
There's now we're looking at a picture of me and Steve, two old dudes in front of a mixer.
No,
Nice guy.
This was at night, obviously, so it was dark out and just the lights from this film set and stuff like that. And we were just standing around and no flashes, no loud sounds because we're shooting, obviously, And our drummer, Malignant Daniel, his thing is to bring
Disposable cameras.
Camera, like the old school one with a film in it. It's not a digital camera. So he's like always we can hear where he's like pulling that thing and charging the camera, you know. Where's Daniel? Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
You know, and he was and he took a flash photography in there, and everyone was just turning around and looking at him.
Looked like a guilty kid
after
that.
And he was.
Yeah, he was. He was guilty.
Yeah, but he enjoyed life just the same as all of us.
Oh, yes.
All of a sudden, this guy jumped out of a car.
Yep.
And came over and said hello, and that was the legendary Machete himself.
Yeah. Machete Man.
Danny Trejo.
Yeah. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. But great. He was really, really nice.
He
was very polite and just like, invited us to his taco
restaurant chain. Yes. Yeah. His. I actually heard some. I think it was on Steve Jones's podcast, Jones's Jukebox. He has his own podcast radio show, the Sex Pistols guy.
Yep.
And I think Trejo went on there and he promoted this taco place, you know. So it's kind of new.
Yeah.
So of course he was like, "Oh yeah, you need to check out my place, you know,
my tacos,
tacos.
You gonna taste the best tacos of your lives."
So, but this was our last night, you know. So we never got around to go there. But we had a photo with him and stuff, and he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's like in his 70s now.
Yeah, he's old.
Old badass.
Old but gold. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he has a very, unique kind of aura to him. It just, it's cool.
Yeah, most of you metal guys out there and metal girls probably know him from the Slayer music videos.
Yeah.
Repentless and stuff like that. He's in there.
Yeah.
Actually.
He is.
So he's around.
Playing a psychotic killer as usual.
I think there's a scene in there where he's on the floor and has both his thumbs inside the skull of a guy through his eye holes.
Sweet.
Yeah. Gory. So, and the director and everyone was like, guys, just hang around. We will be shooting all night, you know. And we was like, oh, fuck. We need to go back to the flat because we kind of have an early flight in the morning.
Yeah, in 4 hours we have to pack up and go.
But trust me, we did not want to leave.
Nope.
So I think that was that, basically. We went back to our flat and...
packed all our shit together and went back to Norway.
Basically.
Yeah. It was kind of sad in a way.
It was sad, but at the same time, we had 10 full days with lots of impressions.
Yeah,
we made plenty of our goals. I would say we saw what we wanted to see,
and I missed my family.
Yeah,
so it was kind of nice to come back as well. Yeah,
of course.
But it was great. Really, really had a nice trip.
And we will do that again anytime.
Anytime.
So it's pretty so shitty now, you know, with the COVID Corona thing. 2020 was actually lining up.
Yeah, Wacken.
We had Wacken.
South America, maybe still. Yeah.
It's not cancelled yet.
No.
But we had our first 2 full tours for this year. Actually, now in May we were supposed to go on a full European tour with Winterfilleth.
Yeah,
that one was postponed. They are setting that up now for next year around April, I think. And we have South America in September this year. We should see how it goes.
Yeah,
and then we are, if we make it over there, and the first show is actually at a festival in Sao Paulo, I think. September. I can't remember the name of the festival, but a cool thing there, we are actually playing together with Angel Witch and Heathen and stuff like that, like old school bands, you know. And
I love Heathen.
And we are old school guys, you know.
Yeah.
Espen is in his mid-40s and I'm in my mid-30s, but we love the same music.
Yeah.
So we connect like that.
You have an old soul.
I do.
And I am an old
Nah, come on. I think you're younger than me in your soul.
maybe less of an adult.
So let's just hope that we can get back to business and hit the road.
We will get back to business, Thomas. We just have to wait this one out.
Yeah, if everything goes out after the planning now, we will be able to host a streaming concert.
Yeah,
for your own pleasure at home, basically. So we're just waiting for our guitarist to make it down here from Trondheim.
Yeah.
I just want to have you promote your shit if you want to, because our sound man, he's not only our sound man, he's got shit going on. So just plug away, man.
So you're talking about my band, maybe?
Your band, and I think you perhaps have some podcasting going on.
We've got some on YouTube. We are two old geezers. We play in a band together, and we also we have set up a couple of cameras in Lars Edvardsen's garage, and we shoot just us talking shit, just talking about metal. Like reviewing a couple of albums and talking about old albums, and just we've got some guests every now and then. Thomas is a guest on the one that's coming out on Friday.
Yeah, this episode will be posted a bit after that, so you can go check that out if you want. It's in Norwegian though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course we're not. Yeah. Sorry.
We're not live.
We're not live.
Not at all.
I'm a live engineer. So that's, check it out. Espen og Lars prekær metal I garasjen for all you English-speaking people out there.
I will put it in the description of the show.
Cool.
And you need to promote your band.
My band, Planet Master God. Check it out, Spotify. There's a couple of videos on YouTube. Yeah. Just a few old dudes playing some really, really sad and melancholic music. That's it.
What genre would you put that in?
I would put it in old dudes playing metal genre.
Ah, come on. Give me something specific.
Give me something. I don't know. I really don't. It's like I'm caught in this typical thing where, no, I can't describe my band. And then somebody else hears it and they're like, oh, well, that's exactly like that or something. I don't know. It's very melancholic. Quite atmospheric, I think.
Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah. So that's the kind of music that it is.
You should definitely check it out. And I think that's it for us for now.
Yeah.
Thank you for stopping by, man.
Thank you, Thomas, for having me.
And thank you for the memories. We will never forget this shit.
No, we can talk. We talk about this every now and then, and we will talk about this every now and then for years to come.
And we will make new memories too.
We shall do this.
We are really sentimental now, but it's the way it's supposed to be.
It was huge.
It was.
Trump would say.
All right. Talk later. Skål!